morning, everybody. Jordan Burke, your friendly neighborhood club fitter. I want to talk a little bit about what I look for in a club fitting when you come to see me for an appointment. So to start off with a driver, for example, I want to see how fast you are swinging that club. There is a little formula that you can use. If you take your club head speed, multiply it by 2.5, and that will give you the most carry that we should see with a good delivery and good height that we should see out of your golf ball with the club head speed that you're producing. So a couple examples. If you're swinging a golf club at 100 miles an hour, which we do have a few members here that still do that, if the club head speed is 100 miles an hour, you should be able to fly a ball 250 yards. If you are hitting up on it, if we are getting good spin rates and we are getting a good peak height at the top of that flight, you should be capable of flying a golf ball 250 yards with a club head speed of 100 miles an hour. On the other end of that, if we're at about 80 miles an hour club head speed, you should be able to fly a golf ball roughly 200 yards. That's how far you should be able to get it in the air before it hits the ground and starts running. That's with you being able to deliver the club and hitting up on it through impact. That's with you being able to get a solid strike, giving you a good spin rate, good launch, good peak height. All of those things should get you close to that number. So I know if I have somebody coming to me and they have an 80 mile an hour club head speed and they are swinging up on it and they have a good delivery and they're just not quite hitting it solid, or they are hitting it solid and the spin rate is a little off the map, or it's too low or too high and the carry is only about 185 yards, I know we can get a little bit more out of them based on that fact alone, that little formula alone. Your club head speed times it by 2.5, that'll give you what you are capable of getting when it comes to driver distance off the tee. Now, another thing I look at is irons. Do you have any idea how much yardage you should have in between your irons? What's your gapping? How much space, how much yardage should you have in between your irons? There's a really cool formula put out by Ping that makes it very, very easy to look at. So if you take your 7-iron, I grabbed my 6 by accident, but if you take your 7-iron and you're hitting golf balls using our top tracer system, and you get your ball speed. So let's say you're hitting a 7-iron and the ball is taking off at 100 miles an hour or 110 miles an hour or 120 or even 90 or 80 if we're not hitting it that far. If you take that ball speed number, 10% of it, so if it's 100 miles an hour leaving the club face, 10% of that gives you 10. You should see about 10 yards in between your clubs. And I look at it as the clubs that I look at it as like your irons, your hybrids, those kind of clubs that we want to make sure that we're hitting to land on greens and stay on greens. When you have a driver to a fairway wood, it's going to be a little bit more than 10 yards. And maybe your last fairway wood to your first hybrid, it might be maybe 10 to 15 if your gapping is 10. And also, like, if you are hitting a 7-iron and the ball takes off at 120, you should see a 12-yard increment. So you can see how that works, or how we want that to work through the set. So those are a couple things that I look at to make sure that the members here at Bonita Bay have proper spacing in between their clubs, and we're getting the most out of what you're bringing to the table with your club head speed. So those are two formulas and two things that I look at, and those are two formulas that can tell me if we have potential for some gains to see what we can do to make the game of golf a lot easier for you, more enjoyable, hit it farther, hit it higher, hit more greens, hit more fairways, make more putts, all the above. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, Jordan B at BonitaBayClub.net. And if you want to schedule any club fittings, please contact the golf shop. They'll be able to set up anything for you. Thank you all. Have a great day.